Morning, grade 9s. Mr. LaRusso here. Hey, so long time no speak. It's been a long time since I actually had an opportunity to make a video for you guys. Mostly I like to do videos when I can actually do a demonstration or show you something. A little hard to do with astronomy because everything's kind of up there. But what I've got here is a little demonstration for you about static electricity. And what's helpful is we're here in my recording studio. As you can see, I got all my guitars and stuff. But I also have this microphone. Now, this microphone here has this unique faux fur cover, and it's designed to help with wind noise. But it's also perfect. It's also perfect to do a static electricity demonstration because of the nature of these things. These things are easily attracted to static electricity. So again, what is static electricity? Static electricity is a buildup of charges. If you recall from chemistry, there are two types of charges. We have like the positive charges, which are your protons, and the negative charges, which are your electrons. And as it turns out, in most scenarios, it's the electrons moving from one object to another that define whether we have a static charge or not. So here's the big idea. If we have equal number of positive and negative charges, like we normally do, in that situation, we have no charge buildup or no static charge. Everything balances out. Every proton has an electron. They're all partnered up. Everything's cool. But there's this interesting phenomena that occurs when you rub two materials together. Many of you have experienced this. With little kids, you may have taken a balloon, rub it against your head, and put it up against the wall, and it sticks. In the wintertime, if you have a particularly fluffy or wool sweaters in particular, when you take them off, you'll hear like little sparks coming off, and you can feel like little shocks as they come off. If you're wearing wool socks on a carpet, and you walk across the carpet and you touch a doorknob, you get a shock. Well, what's occurring there? Well, this is something known as charging by friction. So essentially, a weird phenomena occurs when you have two materials. So let's say my water bottle, right? And let's say we have my blanket here. These two materials are on their own normally neutrally charged. However, if you rub one material with the other, what happens is the friction rubbing between them causes some of the electrons to get free on this material and some of the electrons to get free on this material. Normally what they want to do is they want to go back to their atomic partner. But there's another cool little feature in nature, and that is some materials have a stronger affinity for electrons than others. So basically, some of these materials kind of bully a couple of extra electrons from the other material. And it's those differences in what we call electron affinity. That means the desire to hold on to an electron. It's those differences that cause things to become charged when you rub them together. So let's say one material has this greater affinity. That term in chemistry, which you will learn in the future years, is something called electronegativity. And electronegativity is just a way to describe an atom's desire or strength or pull on those valence electrons. Atoms that have a stronger electronegativity can bully away charges from weaker atoms, and as a result, some materials end up getting a surplus of electrons where other materials get a deficit. If your material has a surplus of electrons, well, actually, it would likely be the cloth. If your material has a surplus of electrons, it becomes what we call negatively charged. If it has a deficit of electrons, it becomes positively charged. Well, so we can look at that by looking at my little mic cover here. So I'm going to get this a little closer so we can see it here. Okay. Now, I have with me a piece of styrofoam, right? Just construction grade from the renovation. And I just have a good old blankie. Nothing special. All right. But what we can do is something cool with this. All right. So get it nice and frame. So what I want you to do is focus on the bristles here. And right now, not much is happening. But if I rub the two materials together, you can see the hairs moving. And that is an example of static electricity. So now, this is becoming negatively charged. And Molly would like to get in on the demonstration. And also, the cloth that charged it is causing a little bit of motion. Right, Molly? Oh. Now, this one right here produces plenty of static electricity with her fur. So in the wintertime, especially when she comes by and wants to give you some doggy kisses, she will sometimes give you a little bit of a shock. Hey, Molly? Yeah, you're a good girl. Okay. Now, I got to go back to work. Ciao. Anyway, so that's our fun little demonstration with static electricity and my friendly little assistant, Molly, the JRT.